Remember when store shelves cleared out during the last crisis? Everyone rushed for toilet paper while the smart ones quietly grabbed something else entirely. Here's the truth most people missed. Certain everyday items vanished hours before the panic buying made headlines. Not the obvious stuff, but the boring essentials sitting in your kitchen right now that experienced preppers target first. When the next economic downturn hits, 9 specific items will disappear before most people even realize there's a problem. These aren't fancy survival gadgets or expensive gear. They're simple household staples that become impossible to find once supply chains break down. Today we're revealing exactly what seasoned preppers stock up on first and why these items matter more than you think. No fear-mongering, no sales pitches, just practical insights from people who've navigated shortages before. Ready to stay ahead of the curve? Let's jump in. 1. Liquid nutrition insurance. When disaster strikes and store shelves empty faster than a Black Friday sale, most people rush for the obvious items. But while crowds fight over bread and bottled water, seasoned preppers quietly sweep up something far more strategic: shelf-stable milk products. These overlooked essentials become liquid gold when refrigeration fails and fresh dairy becomes a distant memory. The genius lies in understanding what happens when the power grid collapses. Your refrigerator transforms into an expensive storage box, and every drop of fresh milk becomes a ticking time bomb. Meanwhile, powdered milk, evaporated cans, and UHT cartons sit patiently in your pantry, ready to serve for months or even years. During the 2020 supply chain disruptions, dairy aisles were stripped bare within hours. But the real competition happened in the baking aisle, where powdered milk quietly disappeared. These products offer incredible versatility that fresh milk simply cannot match. You can stretch soups, enhance bland emergency rations, maintain coffee routines that preserve morale, and provide essential nutrition for children and elderly family members. In disaster zones across the globe, from Hurricane Maria's aftermath to refugee camps, powdered milk consistently ranks among the most requested items because it delivers critical calories and calcium without refrigeration requirements. The strategic advantage becomes clear when you consider the mathematics of survival. 1 container of powdered milk equals gallons of liquid nutrition, takes up minimal storage space, and weighs a fraction of its liquid equivalent. When transportation becomes difficult and every ounce matters, these compact powerhouses deliver maximum nutritional bang for your storage buck. Smart preppers recognize that while others focus on short-term thinking, shelf-stable dairy products represent long-term food security that extends far beyond the initial crisis period. 2. Friction control mastery. Hidden in plain sight among kitchen organization supplies lies a survival tool that most people completely overlook: non-adhesive grip liner material. While shoppers browse these rubberized rolls thinking about drawer organization, experienced preppers see something entirely different: a versatile solution for maintaining stability when everything else falls apart. When crisis hits and environments become unpredictable, your surroundings transform overnight. Emergency lighting creates shadows and blind spots. Hastily stacked supplies become toppling hazards. Improvised furniture lacks stability. Vibrations from generators, foot traffic, or even earth tremors can send critical supplies crashing to the ground. This is where grip liner material becomes invaluable. It instantly transforms any surface into a secure platform without tools, adhesives, or permanent installation. The applications extend far beyond simple shelf organization. Cut sections can secure water containers in vehicle transport, preventing dangerous spills and container damage. Wrap strips around tool handles for enhanced grip during cold weather operations. Line the bottom of storage containers to prevent contents from shifting during movement. Create quiet padding under equipment to reduce noise signature when stealth becomes necessary. The material works equally well in temporary shelters, RVs, basements, or any improvised living situation where standard furniture and storage solutions are unavailable. During major disasters, first responders have discovered countless creative applications for this material. Emergency kitchens use it to prevent burns from sliding cookware. Medical stations employ it to secure equipment on unstable surfaces. Communication centers rely on it to prevent sensitive electronics from vibrating off tables during generator operation. The material's washable, reusable nature means it continues providing value throughout extended emergency situations. While others struggle with constantly shifting and falling equipment, those who stockpiled grip liner maintain organized, efficient operations regardless of circumstances. 3. Finer fuel multiplication technology. Tucked away in camping sections, a small brass device represents the difference between fuel independence and dangerous desperation. Propane refill adapters appear insignificant to most shoppers, but these compact tools enable fuel multiplication that can sustain cooking and heating operations long after commercial supplies disappear from stores. Understanding the fuel economy reveals why these adapters become so critical. Large propane tanks hold substantial fuel reserves, but require stationary grills or large appliances. Small portable canisters offer mobility and versatility, but contain limited fuel supplies. The adapter bridges this gap by enabling fuel transfer from abundant large tanks to versatile small containers, effectively extending your operational capacity exponentially. One 20-pound tank can refill dozens of 1-pound canisters, transforming a single large fuel source into weeks of portable cooking capability. The process requires no electricity, no complex equipment, and no specialized training. Simply connect the adapter to your large tank, flip it upside down to enable liquid propane transfer, attach the small canister, and let pressure differential complete the transfer. Within minutes, you have restored full capacity to your portable stove, heater, or lantern. This capability becomes priceless when supply chains collapse and fuel stations close, but power demands remain constant for cooking, water purification, and space heating. Recent crisis events demonstrate the strategic value of fuel multiplication technology. During extended power outages, families with refill adapters maintained normal cooking operations while neighbors resorted to dangerous indoor burning or cold meals. The psychological benefit of hot food in warm spaces cannot be understated during stressful survival situations. Beyond personal use, these adapters create significant barter value in post-disaster communities where fuel becomes currency, and the ability to refill containers commands premium trade rates from desperate neighbors. 4 bytes a main personal maintenance. Arsenal. When society crumbles and medical facilities become unreachable, the smallest oversight in personal care can spiral into life-threatening complications. Basic grooming tools represent far more than vanity items. They become essential medical equipment disguised as everyday conveniences. Nail clippers, precision tweezers, and compact scissors transform from bathroom accessories into critical health maintenance gear when professional medical care disappears. The connection between grooming and survival becomes crystal clear once you understand infection pathways during crisis situations. Overgrown fingernails become dirt traps that harbor dangerous bacteria. A simple hangnail tears deeper without proper trimming tools, creating an open wound in unsanitary conditions. Splinters, thorns, and debris embed in skin and fester without tweezers for removal. These seemingly minor issues escalate rapidly when antibiotics are unavailable and wound care supplies are limited. Field reports from disaster zones consistently highlight this overlooked health hazard. After major earthquakes, hurricanes, and conflict situations, medical teams report significant increases in preventable infections stemming from basic grooming neglect. Refugee camps now include grooming kits in standard distribution packages because administrators learned that preventing small problems eliminates larger medical crises down the line. The tools serve multiple functions beyond their obvious purposes. Tweezers extract ticks and remove foreign objects from burns, scissors trim medical tape and bandages, and clippers maintain hygiene standards that prevent disease transmission in crowded shelters. Storage and portability make these tools ideal for emergency preparedness. A complete grooming kit weighs less than a smartphone, requires no power source, and maintains functionality for years without maintenance. During prolonged emergencies, these tools become valuable trade items because everyone eventually needs them, but few people think to stockpile extras. While others focus on dramatic survival gear, smart preppers quietly secure multiple sets of basic grooming tools, understanding that maintaining health starts with preventing small problems from becoming big ones. 5. Biological defense system. When infrastructure collapses and nutrition becomes inconsistent, your immune system faces unprecedented challenges that determine survival outcomes. Immune support supplements, particularly vitamin C, D3, zinc, and elderberry, represent invisible armor against the biological warfare that accompanies every major crisis. These humble bottles contain concentrated protection against the cascade of health problems that emerge when stress, malnutrition, and exposure overwhelm natural defenses. Crisis situations create perfect storms for immune system failure. Sleep deprivation from security concerns, nutritional gaps from limited food variety, psychological stress from uncertainty, and exposure to contaminated water sources all compound into immune suppression. Cold temperatures drain energy reserves, while crowded shelter conditions facilitate disease transmission. Your body's natural defenses, already compromised by crisis stressors, face constant assault from pathogens that thrive in unsanitary emergency conditions. Historical precedent demonstrates the critical importance of immune support during disasters. Pandemic responses revealed massive supplement shortages within hours of emergency declarations, as people instinctively recognized the need to strengthen biological defenses. Natural disasters consistently show higher infection rates among populations lacking access to immune-supporting nutrition. Vitamin C accelerates wound healing and reduces inflammation, crucial when minor injuries become major problems. Vitamin D3 supports immune function and mood stability during extended periods without sunlight. Zinc reduces infection severity and duration, potentially preventing minor illnesses from becoming life-threatening complications. The strategic advantage extends beyond personal protection into community dynamics. In group survival situations, the first person who becomes seriously ill often triggers a cascade of infections throughout the population. Individuals with robust immune support become less likely to introduce or spread diseases, protecting not only themselves but entire survival communities. These supplements store efficiently for years, require no refrigeration, and pack tremendous health value into minimal space. When medical care becomes unavailable and prevention represents the only treatment option, immune supplements transition from health optimization to survival necessity. 6. Ignition authority. In emergency situations where fire represents the difference between life and death, reliable ignition sources become more valuable than currency. Charcoal starter cubes, typically overlooked in barbecue sections, provide guaranteed flame production that transforms from convenience item to survival essential when traditional fire-starting methods fail. These compressed fuel blocks deliver consistent ignition capability regardless of weather conditions, skill level, or available materials. The physics of emergency fire starting reveal why starter cubes become indispensable during crisis situations. Wet conditions, high winds, and limited dry kindling conspire against traditional fire-starting methods just when heat becomes most critical. Starter cubes burn at high temperatures for extended periods, generating enough heat to ignite damp wood, charcoal, or improvised fuel sources that would otherwise resist ignition. Unlike liquid accelerants that evaporate, leak, or create dangerous flare-ups, these solid fuel blocks provide controlled, predictable flame production that works reliably in adverse conditions. Recent crisis events demonstrate the practical value of reliable ignition sources. During widespread power outages caused by winter storms, families with starter cubes maintained heating and cooking capabilities while others struggled with dangerous improvised solutions. The cubes enable safe indoor heating when proper ventilation exists, providing life-saving warmth without the risks associated with gasoline or other volatile accelerants. They ignite easily with simple spark sources like flint strikers, eliminating dependence on batteries or butane that may become unavailable. Storage advantages make starter cubes ideal for emergency preparedness. They maintain effectiveness for years without degradation, resist moisture damage, and occupy minimal storage space. Unlike liquid fuels, they produce no odors during storage and pose minimal fire hazard when properly contained. The compact nature allows for distribution throughout multiple emergency kits, vehicles, and storage locations. In barter situations, starter cubes command premium value because everyone needs fire capability, but few people stockpile reliable ignition sources. When civilization's conveniences disappear and fire becomes essential for survival, these unassuming cubes represent the difference between warmth and hypothermia, cooked food and starvation. 7. Portable purification technology. In emergency situations where municipal water systems fail and traditional purification methods become impossible, personal water filtration devices transform from camping conveniences into survival necessities. These compact straws represent breakthrough technology that delivers immediate hydration safety without requiring fuel, electricity, or technical expertise. When disaster strikes and contaminated water sources become your only option, these devices provide instant protection against waterborne pathogens that claim more lives than starvation during crisis events. The engineering behind personal filter straws demonstrates remarkable innovation applied to humanitarian needs. Advanced filtration membranes remove bacteria, parasites, and sediment from virtually any freshwater source, transforming questionable puddles into safe drinking water within seconds. Unlike chemical purification tablets that require waiting periods and leave unpleasant tastes, or boiling methods that demand fuel and time, filter straws provide immediate results. The technology emerged from military applications and disaster relief operations where rapid water purification could mean the difference between mission success and catastrophic failure. Real-world deployment validates the life-saving potential of personal filtration technology. International relief organizations prioritize these devices during humanitarian crises because they provide immediate protection against cholera, dysentery, and other waterborne diseases that spread rapidly in disaster zones. Each device can process hundreds of gallons over its lifetime, representing tremendous value in compact, lightweight packaging. The portability factor becomes crucial during evacuation scenarios where every ounce matters but water access remains uncertain. Strategic advantages extend beyond personal use into community applications. In group survival situations, these devices enable water collection from multiple sources without risking group health through shared contamination. They operate silently, leaving no trace and requiring no preparation time that might compromise operational security. During extended emergencies, the ability to safely utilize any available water source provides psychological confidence and tactical flexibility. While others debate water storage requirements and purification methods, Those equipped with personal filtration technology maintain hydration independence regardless of circumstances. The compact nature allows for distribution throughout bug-out bags, vehicles, and emergency caches, ensuring redundant access to safe water when traditional infrastructure fails. 8. Temperature control mastery. When electrical grids collapse and cooling systems fail, reusable gel packs provide critical temperature control that extends far beyond simple comfort. These flexible cooling devices represent sophisticated thermal management technology packaged in deceptively simple formats. During crisis situations where medication preservation, food safety, and heat-related injury treatment become life-or-death concerns, gel packs deliver precisely controlled cooling without requiring ongoing power consumption or fuel resources. The science of thermal regulation reveals why controlled cooling becomes essential during infrastructure failures. Medical supplies, particularly insulin and other temperature-sensitive medications, lose effectiveness rapidly when exposed to heat. Perishable foods spoil within hours without refrigeration, eliminating crucial nutrition sources when replacement becomes impossible. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke pose serious threats in enclosed spaces without air conditioning, especially among vulnerable populations like children and elderly individuals. Gel packs address these challenges through engineered thermal mass that absorbs and maintains low temperatures for extended periods. Operational versatility makes gel packs indispensable across numerous emergency applications. Pre-frozen packs can preserve critical medications during power outages, potentially saving lives when pharmacies become inaccessible. They provide safe, mess-free cooling for treating injuries, reducing swelling and pain without requiring ice that melts and creates sanitation problems. In food preservation applications, gel packs extend the viability of perishables in insulated containers, stretching limited food supplies during extended emergencies. The reusable nature eliminates waste while providing renewable cooling capability whenever freezing resources become available. Strategic implementation transforms gel packs from first-aid supplies into comprehensive emergency equipment. Their compact storage requirements allow for stockpiling multiple units without significant space consumption. During evacuation scenarios, frozen gel packs can preserve essential medications and foods during transport to safer locations. In barter economies that emerge during prolonged crises, controlled cooling capability commands premium trade value because the need for temperature control affects everyone, but few people maintain cooling resources. Unlike alternatives that require ongoing fuel consumption or create mess during use, gel packs provide clean, quiet, efficient thermal management that operates independently of external infrastructure. 9. Hand protection protocol. During crisis situations where sanitation infrastructure collapses and exposure risks multiply exponentially, protective gloves transition from medical supplies to essential survival equipment. These barrier protection devices prevent contamination, infection, and chemical exposure that can transform minor incidents into life-threatening medical emergencies. When hospitals become inaccessible and antibiotics are unavailable, preventing hand contamination represents the first line of defense against diseases that spread rapidly through compromised hygiene systems. Understanding contamination pathways reveals why hand protection becomes critical during infrastructure failures. Waste management systems overflow, creating hazardous contact surfaces throughout living environments. Water treatment facilities fail, increasing bacterial loads in available water sources. Garbage collection ceases, allowing refuse to accumulate and harbor dangerous pathogens. Food preparation areas become compromised without reliable cleaning supplies and hot water. Every surface becomes potentially contaminated, and unprotected hands become primary vectors for disease transmission to mouth, eyes, and nose. Medical-grade gloves provide versatile protection across numerous emergency applications beyond obvious sanitation needs. Heavy-duty rubber gloves enable safe handling of cleaning chemicals, debris removal, and fuel manipulation without skin absorption of toxic substances. Disposable nitrile gloves maintain sterile conditions during wound treatment, food preparation, and medication administration. The psychological benefit cannot be understated. Protected hands allow confident interaction with contaminated environments that would otherwise create paralyzing hesitation during critical tasks. Logistical advantages make gloves essential components of comprehensive emergency preparedness. Compact packaging allows for extensive stockpiling without significant storage requirements. Multiple glove types serve different applications. Heavy-duty for harsh chemicals and debris, disposable for sterile procedures, and reusable for general protection. In community survival situations, gloves become valuable trade commodities because everyone needs protection, but few people stockpile adequate supplies. The universal applicability ensures consistent demand regardless of specific emergency circumstances. When professional medical care becomes unavailable and prevention represents the only treatment option, hand protection transforms from convenience to survival necessity that protects the tools you need most, your hands. 10. Emergency communication sovereignty. When cellular towers fail and internet infrastructure collapses, two-way radios emerge as the only reliable communication method connecting you to the outside world. These devices represent communication independence that operates entirely outside traditional networks, providing vital information exchange when all other systems go dark. Unlike smartphones that depend on fragile infrastructure, handheld radios create direct peer-to-peer communication links that function regardless of grid status or corporate network availability. The technology behind emergency radios demonstrates remarkable reliability during crisis situations. Most consumer-grade models operate on established frequency bands that remain functional even when commercial networks fail completely. Battery life extends for days or weeks with minimal power consumption, and many units accept standard Day-A batteries available anywhere. Solar charging capabilities eliminate dependence on electrical infrastructure, while hand-crank models provide communication capability without any external power source whatsoever. Real-world emergency scenarios consistently validate radio communication effectiveness. During Hurricane Katrina, amateur radio operators provided the only reliable communication links between rescue teams and coordination centers when all other systems failed. The 2011 Japan tsunami demonstrated how radio networks continued operating when cellular towers were destroyed and internet cables were severed. Emergency responders worldwide rely on radio communication because it represents the most resilient technology available for maintaining contact during infrastructure failures. Strategic applications extend beyond simple communication into comprehensive emergency coordination. Weather alerts provide advance warning of dangerous conditions when television and internet are unavailable. Coordination between family members enables reunion planning and resource sharing across distances. Information gathering from other survivors reveals local conditions, threats, and opportunities that determine tactical decisions. The psychological benefits cannot be overstated. Maintaining communication contact reduces isolation stress and provides emotional support during extended emergencies. Operational advantages make emergency radios essential components of serious preparedness planning. Multiple frequency bands enable communication with different groups simultaneously. Privacy codes prevent casual eavesdropping while maintaining emergency channel access. Compact designs allow for portability during evacuation scenarios, while base station models provide extended range capability from fixed locations. When information becomes scarce and coordination becomes critical, radio communication provides the connectivity that keeps communities organized and families together. 11. Ancient independence. When electrical grids collapse and batteries become scarce commodities, hand-crank flashlights provide reliable illumination that operates entirely independently of external power sources. These mechanical devices represent lighting freedom that continues functioning regardless of infrastructure status or battery availability. During extended blackouts, when darkness becomes a safety hazard and operational limitation, self-powered illumination maintains productivity and security without ongoing resource consumption. The engineering behind crank-powered lighting demonstrates elegant mechanical efficiency. Internal generators convert human energy into stored electrical power through simple hand motions. LED bulbs maximize light output while minimizing power consumption, extending operational time between cranking sessions. Robust construction withstands harsh treatment during emergency conditions, while weather-resistant designs function reliably in outdoor environments where traditional electronics fail. Emergency deployment scenarios reveal the critical importance of independent lighting sources. Search and rescue operations require reliable illumination for navigation through damaged structures and debris fields. Medical treatment becomes impossible in darkness without hands-free lighting that operates continuously. Security patrols need dependable light sources that won't fail during crucial moments when threats emerge from shadows. Unlike battery-powered alternatives that eventually exhaust their stored energy, crank lights provide renewable illumination capability whenever human energy remains available. Tactical applications extend beyond simple lighting into comprehensive emergency operations. Signaling capabilities enable long-distance communication through light patterns that transcend language barriers. Area illumination supports group activities like cooking, planning, and equipment maintenance during nighttime hours. Emergency beacon functions help rescuers locate survivors while conserving battery power and other devices. The psychological impact of reliable lighting cannot be understated. Darkness amplifies fear and uncertainty, while consistent illumination maintains morale and operational confidence. Storage and deployment advantages make crank flashlights indispensable emergency equipment. No battery maintenance requirements eliminate the need for ongoing supply chain dependence. Multiple models serve different applications from compact personal units to powerful area lighting systems. Mechanical simplicity enables field repairs using basic tools when electronic devices become irreparable. When darkness becomes a survival challenge and battery supplies are exhausted, hand crank illumination provides the light that enables continued operations and maintains safety margins essential for long-term survival. 12. Rinse rapid assembly shelter. When housing becomes unavailable and weather exposure threatens survival, emergency tarps provide instant protection that transforms from storage compact to life-saving shelter within minutes. These versatile barriers represent architectural independence that creates habitable space using minimal resources and basic assembly skills. During displacement scenarios where permanent shelter is destroyed or inaccessible, quality tarps enable rapid deployment of weather-resistant protection that maintains body temperature and prevents exposure-related medical emergencies. Material science advances have created tarps that balance durability with portability requirements, essential for emergency applications. Reinforced grommets provide secure attachment points that withstand high winds and structural stress. Waterproof coatings shed rain while remaining breathable enough to prevent dangerous condensation accumulation. UV resistance prevents degradation during extended outdoor deployment, while tear-resistant fabrics maintain integrity despite rough handling during crisis situations. Deployment versatility makes emergency tarps valuable across numerous survival scenarios beyond simple rain protection. Ground barriers prevent moisture infiltration and provide clean surfaces for sleeping, food preparation, and equipment storage. Privacy screens create personal space in crowded shelters or group survival situations. Camouflage applications provide visual concealment when operational security becomes necessary. Collection surfaces gather rainwater for purification and consumption when other water sources become contaminated or unavailable. Construction applications enable comprehensive shelter building using natural materials and basic tools. Lean-to configurations provide wind protection using minimal attachment points and simple engineering principles. A-frame designs create enclosed spaces that trap body heat while maintaining structural stability. Combination installations link multiple tarps into larger shelter systems that accommodate groups while maintaining weather resistance. The lightweight nature enables transportation during evacuation scenarios where every ounce affects mobility and endurance capabilities. Strategic advantages position tarps as force multipliers that enhance other emergency equipment effectiveness. Solar still construction uses tarp surfaces to create water purification systems from contaminated sources. Signaling applications provide high-visibility surfaces for attracting rescue attention from aircraft or distant observers. Equipment protection preserves valuable gear from weather damage during extended outdoor storage. When permanent shelter becomes unavailable and exposure threatens survival, emergency tarps provide the barrier between harsh environments and habitable living space that enables extended outdoor survival operations.